What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy Boulanger, and up next, we're going to be talking about all things Lamar Jackson. Do me a quick favor, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's go. So, this series, over the next 4 or 5 videos, and maybe not consistent videos, meaning every day, maybe every other day, it's going to be called Cheat Code. And I call Lamar the cheat code because he has special powers. You see, and unlocking a cheat code is to exercise that player's powers. Like if you remember old school video games, I don't play video games. I probably haven't played a video game in 10 or 15 years, but old school video games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, right? Every character had a special power. Like, if you play Mortal Kombat, Scorpion would throw the spear and say, get over here. I think that was Scorpion. And Radon would shoot electricity at you and one of those guys, I think his name was Sub-Zero, I may be wrong. He could shoot water at you and freeze you. I guess that's what it was. So you could unlock it. So you were using the cheat code. Or if you had played Street Fighter, some of you may remember that. You had Ryu and Ken, Chun-Li, E Honda, Blanca. All of them had special powers. And some of the powers were easier to use than others. Like Chun-Li, you could just press a button and she'd just start kicking you. E Honda, you could just press a button and he'd start, sumo chopping you, I guess. Blanca, you could just hit the same button and he would start electrocuting you. And so I think Lamar, I think that he has special powers, and I think he has three special powers. I think that one is the use of his legs. He has elite level speed, not for a quarterback, but for any player in the NFL. Now, he certainly may not be as fast as he was when he came into the league, but he certainly still has electric speed. That's one power. Another power is his ability to throw the ball. Lamar Jackson has an ability to throw the ball at any angle, overarm, sidearm at any angle, and he can kind of put it anywhere on the field with some nice touch. And then he has the power of improv. Improv is when a play breaks down and you have to do what you have to do to make something happen. Now, sometimes he can get himself in a little bit of trouble when he improvs, but he still has that power. And because of his ability to throw and ability to run, his improv power is top notch as well. And I think that up until this point, man, you're looking at about 2 years of college, if I'm correct, maybe 3 years of college, and then you're looking at 4.5 years of starting in the NFL, 5 full years of NFL experience. And I don't think anybody has unlocked Lamar Jackson as the cheat code yet. You see, I wanted to do this series because there's a trajectory that Lamar Jackson is on. And there's a player that has a similar trajectory. He don't play anymore. He has a similar trajectory to this one particular player. And I don't want Lamar to end up on that trajectory. So unlocking the cheat code is going to allow Lamar to rise to different heights. Okay. And so I don't think anybody has unlocked the cheat code because I don't think anybody has really coached Lamar Jackson. You see, in college, I can't remember his college coaches' names, but I think because he was the best player on the team, best player in the country, and had elite level skill set, you just let him do what he does best. See, if you go back and watch some of his college tape, you'll kind of see that. You will kind of see a lot of plays break down and he's just off script, improving, which is fine in college because you can dominate that way as the best player. But that doesn't allow a coaching scheme, an offensive scheme to be consistently put in place and put around him, excuse me, and talent built up to assist him in becoming his very best. You see, if you go back and look at his college tape, and we'll take a look at some college tape over the course of this series, if you go back and take a look at his college tape, his play looks very similar to what it has been thus far in the NFL. Now, please don't get mad. You can just go check the tape. You can just go check the tape. You will see it. Maybe a different system with a different name, maybe different signals, maybe different terminology, but the play calling is very, very similar. Okay. And I think that just like in college, um, Lamar Jackson has just been allowed to, just be the best player on the field. That's why I believe the Greg Roman system um, was effective for him for a period of time. I think the Greg Roman system was effective for him 2019 certainly and 2020, but I think he had outgrown that system. I think that you can read option um, and be effective, but just simply because you're the best player on the field. But I think that you have to be able to put the other pieces in place to unlock all the other things that this guy does well. Okay. And it didn't happen in Louisville, and it did not happen in the pros up until maybe this year. So we'll see. But I think that what happens is, as it pertains to Lamar Jackson and or guys like Lamar Jackson, I'll talk about some other guys I consider cheat codes as well, is that because he's so great, you just don't want to get in his way. You don't want to overcoach him. But I think sometimes it comes off as he's been undercoached, right? He's had Greg Roman, or had Greg Roman for 4 years, I believe it was, if I'm counting correctly, and you just didn't really feel like Greg Roman had coached him because you could see it Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, outcome after outcome after outcome, that it was Lamar Jackson or nothing. And that was just allowing him to use his elite level of skill sets, powers, if you will, throwing, running, and improv to just lead the Baltimore Ravens into victory, which is why which is why they didn't have a lot of success in the playoffs. You see, because if there's no real scheme, if there's no real systematic approach, you just have to be the best player. Well, once you get to the playoffs, all teams are good. You see, you see all teams are good at that point. And so now I can just game plan. I can just watch all the tape. Why? Because out of the 6 or 7 games, I know when you line up like this is the call that's coming. Lamar Jackson didn't have a lot of opportunity to audible at the line of scrimmage. So whatever the lineup was, that's what it was. And so teams were easily to pick up on what the Baltimore Ravens were going to run. That's why Lamar Jackson would say, and I don't question the validity of his statement, that the defenses knew what they were going to run offensively. And what that says to me is that Lamar Jackson has never really been unlocked. And I think it has to happen this year. Is Todd Monken the guy to unlock that code? I believe so. Everything I've heard about Todd Monken, everything I've heard in this offseason, everything I've heard from Lamar Jackson has been positive. But seeing it on the field is going to be something different. And so what will it take? What will it take to unlock Lamar Jackson all the way? What will it take for him to run and throw and run and improv and be coached to success in the playoffs, to an AFC championship to a Super Bowl victory? What will it take? I think it has to be certainly more than what we've seen thus far in Lamar Jackson's career. I think that in some aspects, it's been like playing 1 on 11. Yeah, I know he's had some offensive line uh up front, 5 players. But if he has the ball in his hands 90% of the time, whether he running it or throwing it, because he's been the leading passer and the leading rusher, every season he's been in Baltimore, which means he has the ball a lot. It's easy for the 11 players on defense to just pin their ears back and go find him. Now, that's been easier said than done, as we've seen, right? And he's won at a super high clip, over 70% win percentage. But it has not led to much uh, playoff success at all. And I think that that's simply because he hasn't truly been unlocked. I think it's 3 things that will unlock Lamar Jackson, the cheat code. You see, if he has passing powers, if he has powers to pass, then not only did he need tight ends to throw the ball to, he's needed some elite level wide receivers, at least one, or a couple of um good twos, right? Even if your number one is really a two, you need a couple of those guys. If you don't have that one elite guy. And so I think in order to do see, because if the tight end, and I'm gonna give you a great comparison that's gonna it's so similar that it's shocking. That's why I say I don't want him to be on this trajectory. But um if your tight end is your best player, then that's easy to key on. You can cover that tight end with a linebacker and bring a safety over the top, and you can take that guy away. So if you don't have one more guy who can just command the defense's respect, you're going to have trouble passing the ball, which will limit that talent. And I believe that's why he has a narrative around him that says he's not a good passer or an accurate passer. It's because it's been Mark Andrews or nothing. Okay. I think that in order to unlock Lamar Jackson, you have to give him a line that can hold up while he's preparing to pass. I think that the line that we've had is very, very serviceable at this point now that we're all healthy, for sure. I think it'll be better this year. But I think that um the line blocking and the wide receivers doing what they're supposed to do, I think those 2 things are certainly will make the pass game go. And then we'll be able to see that part of Lamar Jackson's game rise. And you'll be able to see his full power on display. Okay. I think another thing to unlock Lamar Jackson is um allow him to use his running ability more in scramble situations than in called runs. He's such an elite runner. Am I saying that he should not run the ball at all on a called play? No. But it shouldn't be a 3rd and 2 and you trying to run a power because you're gonna run your $260 million quarterback into linebackers and defensive tackles. That's a recipe for disaster. But if you're gonna call a run, you know what I'm saying? It has to be off the edge where he can hit the gas, get out of bounds, or hit the gas and get into the open field and get himself out of harm's way. None of this power stuff. I just think that has to go away. And then the other part of the running game is, giving him permission when he sees something to just go get it. I think that sometimes in the past, Lamar Jackson has waited uh longer than necessary looking for something to come open versus just hitting that running lane, picking up that 8 or 9 yards and getting down. Am I saying he doesn't do that? No, he does that plenty. But what I'm saying is there has been times where Lamar Jackson is waiting for something to come open and he takes a sack unnecessarily or maybe he takes off running too late and then he gets tracked down easy. And when I say track down easy, I don't mean nobody's really running him down. I mean, when he decides to run, there are several guys around him, so it's easy to, to crowd him in and somebody bring him down. And so I would love to see just give him permission. Look, whatever you see, Lamar, you go get it. You know what I'm saying? If there's a lane that opens up and it looks like he can get 7 yards, that's 10 to 12 yards for Lamar Jackson. Go get it. Go get it. Get down. Get back to the line of scrimmage. And then that's where improv comes. I think improv is the other way you unlock Lamar Jackson. So we got passing, we got running. You don't take it away. You just make it more safe and more reasonable. You run when it's more reasonable. And then I think that the last is improv. Improv means get up off the ground, meaning after a play is over, get up off the ground, get to the line of scrimmage, call something, and go with it. Lamar Jackson is too talented. He's too fast. He's too twitchy. Putting him in a 4-minute type offense where he can just get up, get to the line of scrimmage, 15 seconds, the play's off, and they're going downhill on the defense. I've never understood, even under the Greg Roman system, where this offense was, and I understand Greg Roman's philosophy, but I'm just saying at some point a light bulb should have came on from somebody to say, we got to speed this thing up. This guy's too good and too dominant. You know what I'm saying? If he runs off a 15-yard run and he gets right up and get to the line of scrimmage, those defensive tackles, man, they're out of breath. You can call another running play in 10 seconds and we'll be right back downhill. So I think that allowing him to check out of a run, if the safeties are down in the box and you can call a hot route, audible to a hot route where you can pick up 10, 12 yards with Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews or a slot player, you know, um, allow him to check out of a bootleg uh, and into a run play, just be able to change it up, improv, like what you see, you respond to. I think those are the 3 ways you unlock Lamar Jackson. As we close this video, the question is, where do you guys believe? I believe he's a cheat code. And I believe there's 2 or 3 other cheat codes in the league right now. One of them is Anthony Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts. But he's not at the same place Lamar is right now. He's a rookie. Same narrative around him. Inaccurate. He has a big arm. He's super talented with the ball in his hand. He can run it. Big, strong, fast, powerful. And so he has both skill sets, arm and legs. Think he certainly has the potential to be a cheat code. I think a guy who is a cheat code is Josh Allen. Big, strong, powerful, can run with it, and has a cannon for an arm. And I think Buffalo moved in the right direction with Josh Allen, going to get him what he needed at the wide receiver position in order to make it possible for his pass game to improve. But I think that in some aspects they've failed him. I think Josh Allen is a cheat code. I think that Justin Herbert can be a cheat code. He's big, he's strong, he can make play. He has a super huge big arm, accurate, can make all the throws, and can run the ball. But not San Diego. What's some dude's name? The Chargers. They seem to fall on their face a lot. So I don't know if they'll ever unlock him. I don't think Joe Burrow is, because Joe Burrow can run the ball, but he's certainly more of a pocket passer, and that's totally fine. He's great at what he does for the most part. But I think those are the guys: Richardson, Lamar, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert. And I think if those guys get unlocked, the league needs to watch out. But my guy is Lamar Jackson, and I think that he's never been unlocked. Even the year that he won the Heisman, he wasn't unlocked. It was all improv, no coaching. I think coaching, see, when I say when I talk about the passing game specifically, I'm talking about coaching up the passing game. I'm talking about coaching up the running game. I'm talking about have identified systematically. When you see this, this is what you do. When you see that, this is what you do. When the defense lines up like this is what you signal. This is what you audible to. I'm talking about a real coaching job. Yeah, I know Lamar did his thing in college. I'm not tripping on that. But I've heard too many accounts of where he was just able to do his own thing, and rightfully so. But I don't think a lot of coaches really coached him because I think he did more saving of jobs and saving of programs. And so I think coaches were just thankful to have him around. But what I'm talking about at this point is coaching him so that he can be unlocked. All right. So listen, let me know what you guys want me to know, man. This is just the first of 4 or 5 videos in this series called Cheat Code. We're gonna talk about where Lamar Jackson ranks in the next video. I'm your Gabu Lange. This is the GM, and I'm out.